Hey everybody, it's Rob here. Season 9 is upon us. In just a few hours, it's going here, and I want to talk to you about the top 10 recommended builds for you to play this season for each of the classes as well. So starting here at number 10 is the highest barb build with a heavy heart. This is the lunging strike barb, still pretty strong. And keep in mind, this is as much a popularity as it is, a power rating. So this class is pretty solid still. You can farm Torment 4 with ease, and you can still kind of melt these bosses here. And you can even kind of melt Belial with this here using the lunging strike. You can find all my planners in the description below here. And yeah, this video can also shoot down Belial here pretty comfortable. We are playing a Bleed, Rage of Haragas style here with Lunging Strike. This is also extremely cool for speed farming because you can lunge all the time and teleport forward basically. And even this build is getting a bit of a buff because we get the Will Breaker, and you see here this Belial, Lord of Lies, he will die even faster because also his HP is getting reduced in the final patch. Coming here on number 9 is the Evade Spiritborn, also another true powerhouse, which is extremely fast in farming. You can kind of see this here, how this class can blast down speed runs, and also in general super strong for T4 farming. You can transition into this class into another S tier build that we'll talk about here in the top 3 later. So this is the 9th top recommended build and the 2nd Spiritborn build that we have here in our list. It's also excellent for leveling. I also have a leveling guide. You're gonna see that in the planners below as well. And you can kind of just like blast like crazy, basically shooting out these feathers here while you move, dealing damage, killing everything. Super comfortable, super nice to play right from the start, and then all the way into the end game build with the Thorns later, which is going to be in our top 3 ranking. And even here, you can kind of see the boss. He will also say sayonara once he spawns a Jaguar, and boom, it's dead. Super crazy, super good. So as you can see here, you can find all these builds on d4builds.gg. You can just filter simply for your class. Like here, if we're looking to play Rogue, you can just click on the Rogue builds and play those. Or you're looking to play a Barb or any other class, you can just simply filter, and it'll gonna show you the power rating and the level of all the classes. We obviously also have the full tier list here, where you can also filter. And this brings us to our next build. This is number 8 top recommended build, is the Death Trap Rogue. This one has gotten a bit of a nerf. However, it was so strong that you could like completely face tank Lilith. And the toughness portion of this build is still in place. So you're basically like spamming this Death Trap, which overpowers. It doesn't overpower on every hit in the new patch, but it's still tremendously powerful, very tanky, and a very safe bet on a Rogue here. We also have another Rogue build here on the list. However, I think this one is going to be the most casual friendly. It's significantly weaker than last season's, but still a powerhouse in A tier of the overall tier list. And you can kind of see me here just like tanking Lilith. This is the immortal version, and even when the Lilith phase 2 here comes, it's still super strong. Obviously the numbers will not be quite as high. We have seen quite some overpower nerfs, but you're gonna be still hitting for the billions and billions with the Death Trap here, taking down like the hardest bosses and just having a great time here with the Rogue. Coming in on the next place here, we have another Rogue build. This is number 7. This is a Twisting Blade Rogue. They have buffed the key passive here that this build is using tremendously in the recent patch. So the Alchemist admixture is going to be very strong, and you're basically like shooting this Twisting Blades while you're dealing poison damage as well, and basically bursting down the enemies like that. We're also adding like the new season mechanics here. And overall, this build is also a true powerhouse and one of the, OG builds that we've played all the way back in Season 1. That's coming back much stronger here with Poison, with the Twisting Blades. You're playing this like a Band of the Rose here, where your Poison Trap is also getting a lot of juice. You're maxing the Poison Trap, you're maxing the Twisting Blades, and it really stacks up very great with some crazy dot damage for this Rogue build. And this also tops the Rogue in our tier list here. So Barb is on the last place. The next here is the Rogue. Before we continue with the best Season 9 builds, let me tell you about today's sponsor, War Thunder. It's hands down the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and you can download it for free right now on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and even mobile. You get to command over 2,500 tanks, jets, helicopters, ships from 10 nations. Basically everything from the 1920s, biplanes, armored cars, all the way to modern fighter jets and main battle tanks. The level of detail is literally insane. Realistic visuals, authentic sounds, and a community of over 70 million players who live for head-to-head PvP battles. And unlike other games with boring health buff, War Thunder runs on an ultra deep damage model. Every shell calculates real penetration, ricochet, and spalling. And my personal favorite, you can see all this in the X-ray view. It shows you exactly which component was pierced and why the vehicle blew up. As a fellow numbers nerd, hey there to all the D4 theory crafters, I love seeing the math behind it all. Oh, and there is a brand new mobile version on iOS and Android. Same giant lobbies, sick graphics, and you can grind battle pass tiers on the bus. No extra hardware needed. Ready to jump in, hit the links in my pinned comment and description. New players and anyone who's been away for at least 6 months can get a massive bonus pack for a limited time, including exclusive Eagle of Valor decorator, 100,000 silver coins, 7 days worth of a premium account, plus several premium vehicles. So download War Thunder for free right now, grab your rewards, and don't forget this bonus is for PC and console only. And I'll see you on the battlefield. And now getting into number 6 here, we have the Flash Render Druid. I'm going to link the video to this clear below here. This is basically like a druid that is using the ultimates here to also create shouts and basically like blast down the enemies here with Petrify and Bulwark whenever you spawn this defensive skill with the Flash Render. This goes pretty ham. As you can see, he's speed farming like a Pit 100 here. There's going to be a small overpower nurse. However, I think this has potential to be the strongest Druid build. And in general, Druid is eating pretty good this season. You can kind of see him taking and pixel pulling all these packs here together and taking them down as he goes through them. And you can also see this here on the start when he does Belial. You can kind of see here he spawns the boss. And there he comes, the Lord of Lies. Boom, boom. He's gonna get cut and like boom. See, he's hitting him for like 300 billion, and the overpower is gonna go down a bit, but he's still gonna be so strong and such a fun build to play. A very, very angry druid. Reminds me a bit of the shout buff as well. And this druid is shouting very, very angrily and having a great time here. Good stuff. Then coming in on the next place here, number 5 is the Pulverized Puddle Druid. So they significantly buffed this Rotting Lightbringer. We don't know for sure how strong it's going to be, but I'm expecting this to top the A tier. You can also stack the puddles now. They're not only going to be permanent, but they're also going to be stackable. And you can kind of see here how the Druid goes and basically create a Pulverize with the puddle and then take this Pulverize damage to transfer it into a crazy dot poison damage that's going to stay on the target. And again, this also will stack up like crazy. And no one has actually played this because this was not in this current form here on the PTR. And it looks to be tremendously powerful. And it's finally some good news for the Druid here, having basically 2 builds here in the top 10. So that's going to be pretty amazing. Right after that, here we have the Shadow Necro played by Lord Sora here. This is a dot variant build, and this was not even functioning with all the multipliers on the PTR. And this is already a Pit 103 clear. It might look very similar to Bloodwave, but it's very, very different from the Bloodwave. And I particularly didn't really want to recommend the Bloodwave Necromancer again. It's still going to be a solid build, but if you want to be playing Necro on a high tier, you can play this build here with Shadow Dot. It's just like something new, something fresh. Again, the planner is also going to be low. You're basically taking the Shadow Blight and you're taking like all the shadow damage over time, now called corruption damage, to deal tremendous amount of damage here. And this is going to easy do Pit 100 plus, as you can kind of see by this footage here. He's hitting for billions and billions with his dots. Then we have the next ranking here. This is also a Necromancer, and this is the Summoning Necromancer. So this is like the key identity of the entire Necromancer class. Finally blasting here with the Skeletal Mages and playing a true summoner build. The Skeletal Mastery Mage was not working fully on the PTR. However, they buffed it up now, and whenever those minions attack quite some time, they basically level up and become way stronger than before, way nastier. They also like stay a bit in the back, so you will have to be the one that tanks a bit, and those mages basically just shoot out the poison and shoot out big damage. And this is like, again, like the true identity for the Necromancer, and I think this is going to be my personal top recommended build for the Necromancer. If you want to play, you know, a cool, like true Necro playstyle, check it out and play the Summoner Minion Necromancer right here. Then next on the list here, guys, we have potentially the strongest build of the entire game. This is the Spiritborn with the new Pantalones, the Thorns Pants, which you can basically play with any skill. Basically any skill will make your Thorns apply. So this is going to be tremendously, like you see, like how we're just blasting down the packs with the Jaguar Hall. And obviously I'm playing this here with Quill Volley. But you can play like basically Rake, you can play Crushing Hands, you can play any skill that you want. And this is also, I was showing you the Evade build earlier. You can like very well start with the Evade and then transition, like as soon as you find those new pants, as soon as you transition into it, you'll be blasting like the high pits. They did nerf the pants a little bit, like about 50% nerf. However, this build was so strong, you can see me here doing 110. And even if you're losing 50% damage, you're only dropping like 3 or 4 tiers. And it's still going to remain probably the highest DPS build of the entire game. And rightfully so, because Spiritborn has been pretty weak last season, but now it's making a strong comeback here. And you can kind of see here, like the Elite's just getting one-tapped, one shot. And this is completely crazy. This also kills the Uber bosses very well. And we are basically using the Noxious Resonance here to burst like all this poison into a pretty crazy and hefty attack. Again, the planners will be here, so you can just click on the Spiritborn, and then you can see the Thorns here. There's also a Touch of Death variant as an honorable mention, but again, the Thorns is my top 2 here. And Touch of Death is just like a lag build that I don't really recommend in terms of playstyle, in terms of fun, to anybody. And then we basically have the strongest build of the entire season, or the most popular. It might not necessarily, you know, be the highest DPS, but this is the Hydra Sorcerer. You can teleport around like crazy, and they even improved this from this footage. So you will be teleporting, spawning a Hydra, teleporting, spawning a Hydra. And this all thanks to these serpentine aspect here that we play in the weapon. It's going to be completely crazy. And you can kind of see me here. This was a very unoptimized version. This also plays very well from leveling. You can basically play this from the very start all the way till the end game. And you can kind of see here like how we're eating these Torment 4 bosses. And you know, the direct damage version has been buffed ever since this footage. It's just a true powerhouse. You're basically using a ton of conjurations here. You have the Boar Lightnings, you have the Lightning Spears out, you have the Ice Blades out, you have the Hydras out, and they're eating good here with this crazy serpentine aspect here. And you can kind of see you can masterwork this even further, so your Hydras have more heads, and then you're using this new amulet here that the Hydra, or that the Sorc has available now. So if you're clicking on Hydra here, it's always going to be immensely powerful here with the Orphan Iris going completely crazy and basically multiplying your Hydra's damage and making them grow in size the more heads you have. And with the master working here where you can get extra Hydra heads, plus the amulet also gives you extra Hydra heads, this is looking to be insanely powerful. And in my opinion, the most popular build of the entire season. I think Sorcerer is going to be the most played. I always have starter variants here for like a bit lower paragons as well. You can always click, you know, in the planners. And also if you go to notes, there's also leveling builds. So we have this all up on the website. So you can just click on tier list and you can kind of see the end game, or you can see the leveling builds that I recommend. And we also have the full loot table here. So if you're looking for any of the new items here, you can simply type the, what is the amulet called? I forgot. It's called Orphis, Ophion Iris. So you can just simply type this. And you can kind of see here the amulet, the Ophion Iris that enables the Hydra Sorc is dropping from Harbinger of Hated, Echo of Duriel, and Echo of Andariel. So very easy. So if I'm wanting to search, I don't know, like if I want to be playing Barb and we're looking for the Hooves of the Mountain God, it's dropping in Beast and Eyes. So very useful. That's also going to be linked below here on the 4 builds. Everything is there. And this basically concludes the list, guys. Here are my top 10 recommended builds. So Hydra Sorc number 1. Most recommended on Sorc, Thorn Spiritborn, and I usually like to start Evade and then transition into Thorn Spiritborn if you want to play Spiritborn. If you want to play Necromancer, it's the Summoning Mages or Dot Necromancer. And Druid is eating good here with the Pulverized Puddle, Flash Renderer, And Poison Blades, Twisting Blades, Death Trap is going to be nice for Rogue. And then, yeah, sadly, on the last place here, my friends, is the Lunging Strike Barbarian. I'm looking forward to start the season, guys. Hopefully you've been updated and you've been prepared here. Let me know what class you're going to be starting in the description, in the comments below. And I will see you live. We're going to be streaming for 24 hours plus. And we're going to be having a blast. I also have a separate video coming of what my starter class is going to be. Enjoy, my friends. Take it easy. GG. And don't forget to check out and download War Thunder for free with my links below and grab your bonus pack to secure the Eagle of Valor, 100,000 silver lines, 7 days of premium account on PC, PlayStation, Xbox.